it's a very meaningful question. As we all know, yoga means as much as unity. That's what the word basically translates into. And therefore, actually orienting yourself within life towards unity in everything you do, that is what yoga is. Everything else is tools that are a means to an end to reach that state. But once you want to become a perfect Bhakti Yogi, you would want to be so perfect in your Bhakti, in your devotion, that you are in a continuous state of unity. Once you are a perfect Hatha Yogi, you master Hatha Yoga, the yoga postures, you would do your postures in the morning, and then throughout the day remain in a state of continuous unity with everything. If you are a Tantra Yogi, you expand your consciousness, and due to that enter into a continuous state of unity. And what it means in that sense to orient oneself into such a state would be, if you want to start with it extremely practically, it would just simply assume a state of openness. That would be the first stage of it. To move from being sort of in an implicit understanding of yourself, having a certain definition frame around you, having a very certain configuration of yourself, a past, a future, an idea of what you like, what you don't like, an idea of what gives you pleasure, what gives you pain. All of these structural aspects that sort of form what we call the personality, and then also from there the ego. The difference between remaining very insistent on identification with the ego and making the first steps towards the soul and therefore towards unity is to no longer assume your being as a closed system and start to assume your being as an open system, which is still a system, so that is still sort of close to what you know yourself to be, and moving from the ego to the soul, you will still be a human being, walking around, having a human experience. This will still remain. But the vision of it, the perspective of it, even the time perception, space perception of it will be very, very different. So start with this very simple attitude of going from a closed system to an open system. Very simple. And if you think about it, that is what your body and your energetic structure are anyways doing all the time. This is what your mind, your emotions are anyways doing all the time. It's just a belief that we slap on top of this naturally open system that is breathing and sweating and eating and peeing and all sorts of stuff that is in relationship with the world around, listening to words, giving out stories, questions and answers, all of that stuff is actually clearly showing how open our system is. But we slap on top of it an idea that no, it is a closed system. It doesn't move, it has to stay the same. And when it doesn't stay the same, we have a problem, and then we react with all our protective mechanisms and all sorts of subtle weapons and verbal weapons and so forth that we then use in order to protect that closed system, which is not even a closed system. So just change that perspective first. And that step into openness, it will inevitably reveal, step by step, how you are already unified with everything. First, you become aware, I am breathing. So there is at least an exchange, a connection between me and the world around me. I am looking. Clearly there is an exchange between me and that beautiful landscape, and that beautiful human being. So you become aware inevitably by experience of the exchange. By becoming aware of an exchange, you become aware how actually little particles of you are traveling around, and little particles of the other are traveling around and meeting one another. Particles, I'm not talking about physical particles, but your vision, your consciousness is going out to that landscape or going out to that beautiful pair of eyes and meeting them and seeing them for what they are, and then taking them back in and making an interpretation of it and so forth. And then within that process of reflection, you will inevitably come to a greater and greater unity and connectivity with everything that will eventually lead you to understand that you are in fact one with everything. So take it as the step-by-step process. Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content on spirituality, Tantra and more.
And if you want to sign up for our online classes or for our retreats, you can see our website on the description below.